What's up, guys? It's Friday, the 24th of November. I almost said the 24th of Thanksgiving, but it's the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. And just left the gym and perused my Facebook feed before I headed out. And two things that struck me, I just want to speak on real quick. Actually, there was three different posts, all tied together. So, one was kind of like a gym meme. It was supposed to be funny, but it had to do with taking steroids. And I made a post about how you're probably never going to be able to do it naturally as good as the sauce. But then I went into ways that you could boost your testosterone naturally. Firstly, with diet and lifestyle, and then adding some fantastic herbal supplements that I've been reading up on. And excuse me, my stomach's a little tore up. I just ate a whole rotisserie chicken. So then, of course, and one of the things that I mentioned was never ever eat soy, ever. And the guy's and he was cool about it. He's like, why won't you eat soy? I mean, that's basically all I eat. So he must have been a vegan. And I'm like, it's really terrible that in the current year people actually think soy is still good for you. But I went through the whole litany of bad effects that soy has on your body, and then someone inevitably brought up the Japanese who've been eating it for centuries. And cool story, bro. How's their cognitive health? What's their Alzheimer's rate? Have you even looked into that? Probably not. And then there's a troll page that I follow. It's absolutely hilarious. It's called Women of Power. And most people don't realize it's a troll page, which makes it all the more funny. But they posted a picture of I guess it's a TikTok influencer, morbidly obese woman who won't, who always, displays her belly and her fat and her morbid obeseness, basically. And then my friend Bubby posted about, it was a Twitter screenshot about how, men need to learn how to be men again. And it's about eating meat and, having empathy and showing leadership and lifting weights and that's been turned into what we call toxic masculinity, but that's actually masculinity. And what I said to him was, it's my life mission to teach men how to be men again, and to teach men that it's okay to be a man, and it's desperately needed, because we're not going to make it through what we're about to go through if we don't bring men back, especially. And the women need to discover their divine feminine as well. But being a man, there's plenty of women out there, who have that same type of mission for the women. But being a man, I've kind of, guys, next time and I say this all the time, next time you're out in public, go to a Walmart, or anytime you're out in a public place that has a lot of people. I think most people just go out and they just kind of just zone out. They're there to get their shit, and that's all they're focused on. They might be with their significant other, so they talk to them, but they don't really pay attention to the people on them. Next time you're out in public, I want you to really, really focus on looking at the general state of humanity. Just observe people, and I do this every time I go out, because it just every time I go out and I see this, first of all, it makes me extraordinarily angry, but it also puts the zap in me that we have to fix this with radical urgency. If we're going to survive as a species, and it's that bad. I mean, and again, probably don't notice it because you zone it out, you tune it out when you're out. But go out in public and look at the general state of people. It's not going to get any better, guys. We currently don't have a revolution in lifestyle changes. You know what I mean? People are still eating garbage, and they've got more garbage in store for us, guys. They're going to ban meat, and they're going to force you to eat bugs and GMO Franken garbage, which will include large amounts of soy, which is absolutely poisonous and is not fit for human consumption. I don't give a shit how many fucking years the Japanese have been eating it. It's not fit for human consumption. The human body has an incredible ability to adapt and overcome those types of things. So the fact that you can eat something and not die doesn't mean shit. Have a look at the general Japanese population, and they're kind of feminine looking. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really see too many, very masculine Japanese fellows, and of course there's anime. A little swipe at some of my friends who watch anime, but it's anime is a very, very, to me anyway, no offense, anime is a very, very feminine form of art to me. It's I don't know, I don't get it. It was, thankfully I was too old for that when it became a thing, but no offense, I just don't like it. But anyway, like this is mental and physical and spiritual disease that not only is it, prevalent in our society, but we're expected to celebrate it. And you've seen those Cosmo magazine covers. I post them all the time. I'll have to post them again, where they put morbidly obese women on the cover and said, this is healthy. I mean, those women had to weigh upwards of 300 pounds, both of them. And this is healthy, and then have like the New York Post posted an article about a personal trainer who was like 275 pounds. And she's like, my clients love me. And I'm like, yeah, because you give them nothing to aspire to, and you make it easier for them to fail. You know what I mean? Like, you don't give a shit about your body, so why should they? And then, they don't have to put any effort into it. They can just be a mediocre at best physical specimen of human being, and their health can be in shambles, but I go to the gym. I don't understand why I'm sick all the time. I don't understand why I have chronic illness. And it's just a social disease. It's freaking terrible, and it's got to stop. It has to stop. It's not anything personal against people who are struggling with their weight, but you're struggling with your weight because of a social kind of cultural meme that's been planted into you, where it's like it's difficult to lose weight. And it's difficult to lose weight because we've been taught not to love ourselves. And because when you love yourself, it's easy. It's easy. And if it's difficult for you to lose weight, then you have to do you got to do your shadow work, guys. I mean, you have to answer the hard questions, and you have to face the tough questions, and you have to look in the fucking mirror and look at yourself and don't bullshit yourself. Because if you're struggling with your weight, then you have a self-love problem. And you may think you don't, and you may laugh or get angry at me saying that, but if you loved yourself, you would not destroy yourself, and that's the bottom fucking line. And if you're struggling with your weight and struggling with chronic illness and diabetes and hypertension and high blood pressure and whatever the fuck, you are doing that to yourself. You are harming yourself, and harming yourself is not a form of self-love. You have to swallow the bitter, difficult pill, and that is the day when your life will transform, when you get sick of your own bullshit and you stop bullshitting yourself and you say, okay, if I want to be healthy, I cannot do this anymore. And I cannot do this while simultaneously saying I want to be healthy. Because if you wanted to be healthy, then you would not do this. And if you did not do this, then you would be healthy. It's just the bottom line. You have to, bullshitting yourself is probably the biggest disease in our society. Everybody just bullshits themselves and lies to themselves, and then they get mad at me for pointing it out to them. And I don't give a shit anymore, because civilization's circling the drain, guys. And if somebody doesn't fucking start smacking some sense into people, like I said, we're not gonna make it. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I don't want to grow up in I don't want to grow old in a society. I still got many years left on this old body, but I don't want to live in a society where everybody is just destroyed and damaged and diseased and crippled mentally and physically and spiritually. I don't want to live in a society like that. And human beings are not meant to be like that. And this is a very purposeful thing that's being done to you. And I'm trying to stop it. It can't be stopped unless you yourself see what's being done to you and then refuse to allow it to be done to you. This isn't accidental. This isn't, and part of that shadow work involves realizing that you are behaving and thinking in a manner that is not your own. You've been programmed like this way. So you have to undo the programming. It's very, very insidious. So I don't, and again, and I don't want this being done to my children. My children are adults now. But, you know, they struggle with the same issue that I'm talking about here, you know, where it's, you know, it's okay to eat Doritos, and oh, you're struggling with your weight and you're eating Doritos, or you're eating fish sticks or fried, you know, processed foods, and, you know, you're just not eating anything that's good for you. You're nutritionally deficient, you're malnourished, and then you're like, and then you think getting sick and feeling bad is normal. It's not. Getting sick is not normal. You're not supposed to get sick. You know, getting sick is a symptom of you not taking care of yourself, especially in this day and age. I mean, you can go back and look at like different points in human history where you know, we didn't have the knowledge and we didn't have the resources available, but there's no excuse for that now. There's, you know, I mean, they're making it more difficult now, which is unfortunate, but I mean, we have the knowledge and the resources available for you to live an optimal human life, and you can do it without getting ill ever. I mean, even in this toxic environment, it's impossible to escape the toxicity of this environment. You can still live an optimal life. You know, you can mitigate. You're not going to live to be 500 years old, which is probably your potential. But you can mitigate, and when you die, you don't have to die of, you know, cancer or heart disease and crippled and humiliated and degraded, and you know what I mean, like. But anyway, just wanted to get that off my chest. I don't care if I'm laughed at. I don't care if I'm spit on. I don't care if I lose friends, family. I don't care who gets mad at me, and literally anybody. I don't care. This is like, the truth is above all of that shit, and the truth is, I firmly believe that if we don't turn this around, the human race is not going to be around much longer, and that's just fine for the powers that be. I know it sounds crazy and over the top evil, but they don't want us here anymore. So, you know, decide now. And I know it's a massive weight to burden, the future of the species, you know, putting that on your shoulders. But you know, if the only thing you can do to change the world is change yourself. That's ancient, eternal wisdom. You know, change yourself, change the world. It's all you can do, and that is enough. So, and if humanity is going to go out, you know, because of this scourge, this disease, this evil, then, you know, don't go gently into that good night, as the poem says. You know what I mean? Like, don't just say fuck it, we're all gonna die, and then just start and then get in the drive-through and destroy yourself. You know, go out with some dignity, go out with your head high, and, you know, die with your boots on. In other words, you know what I mean? So anyway. I just left one gym and I'm at another gym, and I'm not going to work out this one. I'm going to tan. But anyway, my message is harsh, and it hits hard, and I don't care. I love you guys. It is all out of love, and you can be a victim about it and cry about it and hate me, or you can take it to heart and fucking correct yourself, fix yourself. And be who you were meant to be. Be who you were meant to be. All right, love you guys.